My name is Marcus OK, and I am joined here by Mr. Chup Across.
Good morning, Marcus. Doing all right.
Doing all right, I got you. Yo, we have a hot set of action for you guys. Top 8 action here at Greensboro. And today we are going to be starting with Santino, who we saw yesterday, versus Allan. Like, we have just a great top 8 for you guys. What can you tell me about these two players? More specifically, Allan, a little bit more lineage.
So Allan, yeah, he top 4'd the Collinsville Regional recently, lost to Jake Maugier in top 4, and was using a Ho-Oh team, one of the first of its kind.
Yeah, and today we are going to be seeing that team from him, something that proved successful for him in the past. On the other side, we have Santino, who is new to just being in top 8 in general.
Yeah.
And he is actually our second seeded player. This is his first top 8 and he's second seed. That's saying a lot about his dedication to the game. Now, we did catch him yesterday in round 4, I believe, and he took that match quite handily.
Oh, yeah, that was really clean. I'm not sure if this is just Allan's second top cut, or maybe he has one or two that I've forgotten about. He's a California player, and I don't keep up with those top cuts quite as well as I do as East Coast ones. But this might just be his second top cut, going for his second brick at regionals in a month. That would be pretty impressive to get to in like such a short span of time.
That would. Do we know how much CP he's at actually?
CP, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering. That's something that we're gonna have to ask him. But regardless, you want to get that top placing because the CP difference is quite large.
Yeah,
actually.
like for winning top 8, that's an extra 30 CP. That's a whole premier challenge that you don't have to go to anymore.
Exactly. And as they get into their team preview, we are finally going to be able to see their teams, which Santino is going to be rocking Lunala, Groudon, Stakataka, Incineroar, Tapu Fini, and Serena. On the other side, Allan is going to be running Weavile, Toxicroak, Kyogre, Tapu Koko, Landorus Therian form, and Ho-Oh.
So I think those are the same 6 Pokemon that Allan used to top 4 Collinsville recently. The Landorus, I forget if it was something else, but I don't think so. I think this is the same team, and hardly a surprise. If it worked for you then, why couldn't it work for you now?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And some Pokemon that we have not seen yesterday include Weavile, and I don't believe we saw Landorus Therian.
Oh yeah, like whole day and we didn't see a Landorus Therian after so much like VGC 15, VGC 18. It's just such a surprising thing to think like, oh, it's in the format, but you really don't see that much of it. Oh, it's only for certain Pokemon. In this matchup, though, I think this might actually be a pretty good matchup for it to come. It's great against Groudon, Stakataka, and Incineroar. This might be exactly the kind of matchup that Landorus is like on the team for.
I mean, he is the abundance Pokemon for a reason. Pokedex entries, I see you. But going into match number 1 right now, Santino versus Allan. They hit the field of battle to a white screen. Man, sometimes the white screens always trip me out a little bit. Like, they take so long. It's like, did we get a desync or something? Like, that's also a rule.
And then it loads in. The trains are hitting their silly pose while that background plays with the like lights moving.
I think we're going to have to cross our fingers. Okay, no, we got gameplay. We're not going to desync just yet. I don't even know how that works in the rule books. I ain't know. Shout out to the Pokemon professors who are helping run this event. We are going to see Allan rocking the Weavile and Kyogre as Santino sends out Lunala and Incineroar. And now the drizzle is going to come up, showing that Kyogre's speed in general.
Okay, activating before pressure. I thought pressure went before other abilities. I know I said that yesterday, but I guess that's not the case.
Yeah.
Maybe that was only in Gen 6 or in previous. Doesn't matter too much. You can be pretty sure that this is a Scarf Kyogre based on that like activation message. Have to give lead advantage here pretty strongly to Allan. He has his like Weavile against the Lunala, hit it with a Dark type move, has faster fake out than Incineroar. Of course, you can be almost certain Santino has that ground on it in the back, but it doesn't come in too easily. Weavile not actually deciding to fake out, eating fake out of its own as Kyogre goes for Water Spout, hitting into Incineroar and Lunala, picking up a clean one-hit knockout on the Incineroar, doing just under half to Lunala.
Wow, and with that water spout, the Shadow Shield is no longer in effect, but Santino does retaliate with his own Trick Room. So a little bit of chip damage to Weavile. Shadow Shield is off the table for Lunala, and Kyogre is looking really healthy right now.
All right, Groudon coming in really cleanly here, like saying, "Oh, sorry that you had to take one for the team Incineroar, but I'll make sure to get revenge for you." It's a really good switch in for Groudon. Like, momentum is so strongly on Santino's side, even if he's down a Pokemon now.
Right, and that Sun being on the field now, Kyogre doesn't exactly like firing off water-type moves in this, so he is actually going to switch out his Weavile, go into the big dog. Oh, here we go. The big Landorus that you had predicted is going to be such a crucial part is going to drop a big Intimidate. Not really big on Lunala, but a huge Intimidate onto Groudon. Groudon does not appreciate that at all. He actually does pull the double switch. Kyogre is going to switch out as well, and we're going to see Ho-Oh, who loves the sun.
Oh my gosh, this is 2 flying types into Groudon. I hope that's not a precipice play. It's a Rock Slide, catching the Ho-Oh and Landorus on the switch, and how much is this going to hit for?
Wow, whoa!
90% against the Ho-Oh.
Even intimidated, that Ho-Oh is forced to eat its berry. Gonna recover just about to 60% with that Figi berry. And, oh! Big Z move. That looks like a Lunalian Z coming through right now. We're going to get that Triple M madness.
Is this going to come for the Ho-Oh switching in for the Kyogre, or the Landorus that switched in for the Weavile? I have a feeling it'll be the Ho-Oh, just so that he could like pick up the knockout on the Kyogre if Allan made the risky move and left the Kyogre in, because Weavile would be going down to Rock Slide anyway. This is the Ho-Oh. I think this might be able to pick up a knockout from 60%. If it doesn't, it's going to be incredibly close, and it might as well have been a knockout.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge KO. Taking it out on Ho-Oh, who does want to actually be in the sun to get those extra powered Sacred Fires. It is enough to take out, and down goes Powerhouse the Ho-Oh. That is just a really great turn for Santino.
Yeah, these players traded really aggressive turns. Just, okay, there's a KO. Okay, I'll get a KO now. So, Weavile is going to be able to come back in here, threaten Groudon with the Fake Out. Might be a good time for Groudon to get out of here. Momentum is back on Allan's side now. That's another thing that's been going on in this game. The momentum is just like 100 to 0 on one side of the field or the other.
Yeah, I mean, just with this Trick Room being up, still has 3 turns of it left. Like,
oh, you know what we could see? Maybe Santino has a Sarina in the back to switch in for Lunala, prevent the Fake Out from even hitting the Groudon, letting Groudon knock out Weavile with a Rock Slide.
That would be a huge play that he could definitely take advantage of, but looks like Allan is taking a lot of time on his timer right now, wants to make sure that he has his play all set up before he commits to anything. Rightfully so, because this is a very tricky situation. This could turn the tide of battle. It goes in. We're going to see just a Fake Out go into the Groudon. Groudon is going to flinch, and we're going to be seeing a big Moongeist beam into Ryan just gave me a look. I know I messed up. We're going to see a big critical hit. Go big critical hit. Taking out Landorus.
Wow, I didn't expect Landorus to drop there. I thought it would like barely hang on from the turn. I imagine the critical hit mattered, but you have to remember, on Trick Room teams like Santino's, the Lunalas are actually able to run something like a Quiet Nature, boost their special attack instead of speed with Timid like they normally do. It makes Lunala hit even harder than you expect them to. Landorus, not known as like an especially bulky Pokemon by nature, so there's a chance it might have dropped anyway. Hard to say.
Yeah, but regardless, it seems that Allan is Santino is up 3 Pokemon to 2 right now.
And he still has 2 turns of Trick Room left. I imagine that he wants to switch out Groudon here to reset Weather in the future, be able to lock into a different move than Rock Slide, as we know this is a Choice Band Groudon. Who is this coming in? That's Tapu Fini. A really good switch in for Kyogre Weavile as well.
And as Tapu Fini comes in, the Misty Terrain is going to be set. And now we are going to be seeing a big Psy Shock into Kyogre. Gonna do about exactly 50%, it looks like, as the knockoff goes into Lunala, and down it goes.
Yeah, wow, that's just a reminder. Quiet Lunala, which one might assume this is just does so much damage.
Right, and here goes now. Tapu Fini took a little bit of damage from that Origin Pulse, and as you had predicted, Groudon does have the opportunities to come in, and we are going to see just exactly that. Groudon going to get rid of that rain, put up its own sun, and now its Origin Pulses are going to be doing far less than it would otherwise.
So you look at this board position and you think, huh, this looks good for Santino, but he probably has to hit Precipice Blades. But that's one funny thing about this team. The Tapu Fini often is faster than the Groudon in Trick Room and is able to go for Gravity before the Groudon can attack. This Precipice Blades is now guaranteed to connect against both Pokemon, should be picking up 2 easy knockouts. Is that what we see? Exactly what happens.
Oh my goodness. The Gravity coming in so clutch right there.
Gravity just such a great move for like increasing your consistency. A Pokemon like Groudon, known for happening to lose games when it misses attacks, is really unfortunate. But with a friend like Tapu Fini to set up the Gravity, you can just prevent that.
Yeah, and something else to keep in mind with that Gravity is that Allan has a Ho-Oh.
Yeah, like 2 flying types even. The Landorus as well.
Yeah, just knock it out of the sky and then just hit with those blades. Like, this Tapu Fini looks like it's going to be a problem in the future, and Allan probably has to accommodate for that.
Now that I think about it, Allan didn't bring any Pokemon that match up very well against the Tapu Fini. We didn't see the Tapu Koko or the Toxicroak, which are the 2 things that he has to hit it for super effective damage.
Absolutely right. Yeah, there's going to have to be some adjustments made on Allan's side of the field. Otherwise, this top 8 is going to be over for him just like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the problem. His team is so offensive that, like, he even got that Incineroar out off of the field very easily turn 1, but he couldn't really do very much once Trick Room was up. It was just Groudon taking KOs left and right.
That's right, and I believe that's how we saw Santino play yesterday. Getting up that Trick Room seems to be such a vital part of his plan, but as we get into game number 2, we're going to see those poses come out. Game number 2, Santino versus Allan. New school versus old school, I guess you could say. I think, what is this, East Coast versus West Coast right now? What other matchup?
I'm not sure where Santino's from, honestly.
Oh, okay.
All right, this is going to be Groudon and Lunala again against that's Weavile and Landorus from Allan. I think I like that adjustment, just get the Intimidate off right away. Weavile still threatening with the Fake Out. You threaten a double knockout on the Lunala between like Knockoff and Landorus commonly likes to run Ground EMC off of Earthquake that does an impressive amount of damage. With Weavile to break Lunala's Shadow Shield, I think that would pick a pretty easy knockout on the Lunala.
Yes, absolutely, and we did see Landorus drop a big Intimidate onto that Groudon as well, making it -1 in attack for the upcoming turn.
Oh, you know what I might like to see? Groudon into Incineroar. I feel like that would be a play that Allan would need to catch, like the Incineroar coming in on the switch in, or else it would be able to go for a Fake Out next turn, and Lunala would be able to get Trick Room up.
Yeah,
is that going to happen? Would Allan be able to call it? I do like Allan's like momentum on this turn 1. Just kind of threatening both Pokemon. Like if Lunala protects and Groudon stays in, Groudon could go down to a double target. That is going to be Groudon switching into Incineroar.
Yep, Incineroar, just like you predicted. Now Incineroar is going to get that big Intimidate onto both of these Pokemon. Weavile and Landorus not appreciating that at all. As we just see a taunt come out from Weavile, something that we didn't see first game. So now if it wants to go, which it's... Oh no, that's Landorus' Z move. That is Landorus' Z move. Landorus is going to go for the big Z move of its own. It is intimidated right now, and Lunala still has that Shadow Shield up if it wants to go for that Shadow Shield.
Yeah, this would be doing pretty pitiful damage to the Lunala as a result of Shadow Shield, but if it's hitting Incineroar, I'm pretty sure this is just going to pick up the one-hit knockout.
Yeah, and that would be a big knockout from Fake Out pressure.
This Incineroar has only gotten to Fake Out in between 2 games. That's so unfortunate.
And down it goes. Incineroar is out for the guy. Oh, but no Trick Room. The taunt doesn't matter. We are going immediately for a big damage right now.
I don't think Landorus has the bulk to take this if it is the target. It's just going to be another turn of these 2 players trading knockouts. It's all they know how to do.
It's aggressive play style. Like, that's what separates Pokemon players. are you an aggressive type player or defensive type of player?
And sometimes you have to know, even if you're a defensive player, sometimes you just have to say, okay, we're going to trade knockouts this turn, and I hope that mine is a better knockout than yours. In this case, they're both trading their Intimidators. Who does that favor? Little tough to say.
And just like that, Landorus goes down. The play-in trades are coming in right now. We're trading game. Okay.
I have to say, that was well played by both players, honestly. Allan correctly catching the Incineroar on the switch-in and getting a taunt on the Lunala, but Santino also saying, okay, maybe I'm going to get taunted. I will go for the knockout on Landorus. Still, I think this is harder for Santino now than it is for Allan. Santino's team is just so reliant on that Trick Room mode, and he's now locked out of it now. Full health Weavile on the field, Ho-Oh that can no longer be intimidated, has Sun up as long as it wants. This is scary for Santino.
And Allan brings out his Ho-Oh, and Santino brings out his Groudon once again in this turn. Looking really interesting for both players. Could go either way.
This feels like it has to be a double up on the Groudon, because if the Groudon is able to attack, that's going to be a Rock Slide. That's picking up 2 knockouts if it's not burned or anything.
Yeah, and just like that, Lunala is going to switch out, getting rid of the taunt, like you earlier said, and Tapu Fini is immediately going to come in. So if Sacred Fire wants to attempt to burn Groudon, it's not because of the terrain. So the knockoff is going to go in, knocking off the Choice Band. Finally get to see that item, and a Sacred Fire going into Groudon. With that double up, that is leaving it at about 30%, and a Rock Slide going to be coming through. Not able to pick up the KOs.
It's just thanks to Weavile's knockoff. That was such a great play to, like, as opposed to Icicle crashing, maybe just saying, like, okay, if I knock you off, I think I can survive this Rock Slide now. Just an example of how well Allan must know the damage calculations on his team. And now that Groudon is vulnerable to going down to another Sacred Fire, the problem with the Tapu Fini, and this is something that I talked about a little bit yesterday, it's very often that you're not pressured to target it. You can kind of just go after its partner. I think this is going to be a prime example of that.
Right, and just like that, Groudon is going to get out of there. Doesn't want to take any more damage. Lunala is going to come back in as we see a taunt go out into Tapu Fini. Not going to be able to do any of that support shenanigans that it enjoys doing oh so much. And a Sacred Fire in the sun going to knock off that Shadow Shield, so no more ability going to be able to help Lunala's bulk out.
Yeah, and Tapu Fini not even able to attack that turn as a result of the taunt. So Lunala comes in here, it's okay, didn't take tons from Sacred Fire, but it's vulnerable to a double up from from knockoff and Sacred Fire. The knockoff might even knock out. I think we're going to see that right now. Can Weavile get the knockout here? Yes.
It is. Lunala goes down, and just like that, Allan is up 3 Pokemon to 2 as we see the Brave Bird go into Tapu Fini. Going to see that beautiful animation and doing just over 50%. And Nature's Madness is now going to target into the Ho-Oh. It's such a bulky Pokemon. That is, well, worthwhile in my opinion.
Yeah, even if it's only doing 25%. I also have a feeling that's the only thing Tapu Fini could do at that point in the game. Like, Nature's Madness, probably its only attacking move on this team. Like, your Trick Room team probably don't need to run Icy Wind like most Fini do. So now it's Groudon and Tapu Fini, both pretty low health against Ho-Oh and Weavile, also at low health. But Ho-Oh and Weavile have the speed advantage, and I think that's all they need. This should just be a double up on Groudon to seal the game. I don't think Santino has any way to respond to that at this point.
Yeah, as long as we don't see any crazy shenanigans like an Icicle Crash miss or something like that.
Sacred Fire also a move that can miss, but Ho-Oh has the Brave Bird. Santino deciding, we don't need to watch this happen, just forfeiting.
Saving his Pokemon the trouble. It's a very respectable forfeit. Just wants to get immediately into Game 3, 1-1 in favor of both of these amazing trainers.
Yeah, this has been a really solid set so far, even if it's going by so fast. So we didn't actually see Allan's last Pokemon there, but you have to imagine that it was Kyogre. Just to be able to flip the weather if he wants to threaten so much damage. Maybe he was trying to save Kyogre for, in case Trick Room went up, he could use it to sweep once Trick Room had ended. Or just do extra damage to Pokemon like Incineroar and Groudon.
Absolutely right. And as we go into Game 3, there are going to be, we've been seeing just adjustments from both trainers. But one thing that we can say is that they both play extremely good. This ain't no Zygarde Stalin match right now. Like, this is just straight up trade, win. Like, immediately. Like,
one thing I want to comment on is that Santino's taking a lot more time in this Game 3 than he did in Game 2. In Game 2, it seemed like he was really happy with how Game 1 went because he locked in within 20 seconds or something, I think. And now he's already taken more than half the time. Allan doing the same. I'm not sure what kind of adjustments we might see. I think the onus is on Santino to switch it up, if anything. Like, Allan seems to have a beat on how to beat that Groudon Lunala lead now.
I mean, just knowing the players, Allan being a little more seasoned than Santino. Yesterday when we spoke to him, he said he was very nervous about, and he's the second seed, you know?
I would say that both these players are like masters of their archetypes even. Like I said, I think Santino might have helped Alex Underhill build this version of the team, must have a lot of experience with it himself, and Allan becoming known for this Ho-Oh Kyogre team after using it at Collinsville to such success there. Really excited to see how both of them just show us the best they can be in this Game 3.
Yeah,
as one of them is going to be going home after this game.
Yeah, but hey, top 8 finish at any regional because it's always so stacked at these
Oh
events.
yeah, always respectable, but you really want to get that brick, that extra $250 for winning in top 8.
Absolutely, and we are going to see Santino. He's starting out with Incineroar and Lunala, while Allan is bringing out the big dog, Landorus, along with his partner, Weavile.
So I do like this lead more for Santino than I did in Game 2, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's substantially better. That Incineroar is still really worried about eating a Tectonic Rage, but the problem is Allan can only do like one of two things. So Incineroar has Fake Out active. If he wants to prevent like Landorus from eating a Fake Out or Weavile from eating a Fake Out, he has to Fake Out the Incineroar himself. And at that point, Weavile can't taunt Lunala and stop the Trick Room. I like that Santino went back to the lead from Game 1. I think it was just great adjustment from him here. Because now Allan, he can't do everything he wants to in one turn now like he was able to in Game 2.
Right, and as they're deciding on their moves, they are taking a lot more time than we saw in the previous matches. They are finally going to start, and we're just going to see a Fake Out into Weavile right now, which leaves Landorus able to go for the big Tectonic Rage, most presumably into the Incineroar. Might see a repeat of...
Yeah, this is going a lot like Game 1 so far, and I have to imagine Santino's happy about that. So, going for a Fake Out on a Pokemon you know to be way faster than yourself, usually not a good play, like if they both have Fake Out active, like trying to go for a Fake Out in that position. But the thing is, when your partner's a Ghost type, it's not like the Weavile has any faster Fake Out to go for. It might Fake Out the Incineroar and deny its move, but at that point, sure, your Incineroar didn't move anyway. You want to try and stop the taunt.
Exactly, and with that big Z move, Incineroar is going to go down, and since Weavile was faked out, no way to stop the Trick Room. Now Santino has 5 turns of speed priority.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Santino again, just like in Game 1. But he has the Landorus instead of the Kyogre this time. Do I like that more? Do I like that less? It's a little hard to say. I'd say I probably like the Landorus less, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to definitely keep in mind here. With Groudon being on the field, too, going to be able to have that Sun Up. It does have that Choice Band item, and it does have the opportunity to move first, which is really scary, as we see Weavile just immediately switch out. Gonna go into Ho-Oh right now. Doesn't want to take a Precipice Blaze. Both of these Pokemon are flying, so Precipice Blaze will do 0 damage.
Oh, I think it's really likely that this is a Rock Slide instead, as the Landorus was. Oh, does it connect on Ho-Oh?
Oh, this could be huge. Oh, big avoid right there. Super unfortunate, but we are going to be seeing the Moon Guy's Beam go immediately into the Ho-Oh. Gonna be picking up some respectable damage, doing about 30% right there, and it is locked into its Rock Slide.
Yeah.
Now.
That miss on Ho pretty important, but at the same time, Ho now needs to dodge like another one if it wants to attack or it can protect. It's not like Ho survives this. The chip damage from the Moon Guy's Beam didn't even matter there. But like, Ho goes down to that anyway. So what's the Landorus Lock going to do, though? It's not like you can really go into Weavile comfortably because it's Rock Slide. Even Kyogre is scared of that Choice Band Rock Slide, despite it not having like same type attack bonus or anything. And Lunala is free to target the Landorus slot as well. There's just going to be so much damage coming off of Santino's side of the field here, and Allan kind of just has to shuffle his pieces around some more.
Allan understands well that he has to go for the double protect here, but it fails. The Rock Slide is going to come out once again, and down goes Ho-Oh. We got those glasses on deck, 20/20 vision, hitting that more like 10/20, half the time it hits Rock Slide. But we are going to be seeing the big old Zemo go straight into that unprotected Landorus.
Yeah, Landorus at half health, not much of a shot of taking this. The double protect there, I guess Allan realized, like, hey, the position is pretty bad at this point. I'm going to need a little bit of luck to save it. If he had gotten that, it wouldn't be too bad for him. Like, he might still be in the game. But now that Landorus is almost certainly going down to this, it's just going to be Weavile and one friend that we haven't seen against 3 of Santino's Pokemon, all at full health. That doesn't sound too great.
It's definitely not a good situation for Allan, but hey, it ain't over till the Tapu Fini sings. We might see Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini sings, and the anime does, but anyway. Jokes aside, the Weavile is going to be coming out for Allan, and one other Pokemon, which is likely going to be the Kyogre, just because we want to see that rain come up. So Groudon no longer in the rain right now. It is no longer in the sun right now. Gonna be in the rain. Drizzle ability coming through.
So Santino still has 2 turns of Trick Room to work with. Even though his Groudon now is out of its own weather. Oh, you know what? If there's anything good for Allan here, it's the fact that Groudon has to switch out. And then if he doesn't pick up a knockout this turn, it won't be able to switch in until Trick Room has ended. That's worth something, at least. But the thing is, there's probably a Tapu Fini in the back, and that's a tough Pokemon for Kyogre and Weavile to hit.
And just as you said, Tapu Fini is coming on the field, dropping down that misty terrain. I don't think that's going to matter too much, but a big side shock is going to go into Kyogre, doing just above, leaving it at just above 50%. And the taunt, the preemptive taunt, just so that he could make sure that Tapu Fini is not allowed to do any of its support shenanigans, and the Origin Pulse going in as well in the rain, not doing too much to Tapu Fini, and breaking the Shadow Shield on Lunala.
You know, maybe Allan sees a way back into this game. If he can knock out the Lunala, then the Groudon in the back doesn't have any way to protect itself. Even if the sun is up, it could go down to a double target from Origin Pulse, followed by Ice Cold Crash. The problem is, I think this Kyogre is going to go down before anything can happen as a result of the Nature's Madness connecting.
Yep, and that Nature's Madness is going to seal it for Lunala to pick up the KO, Psyshock all the way down, and now Weavile is in by itself. Weavile not going to go down, not going to go down without a fight, though. Going to be able to take down Lunala with a quick knockoff, thanks to that Shadow Shield not being in effect. Now Groudon is going to take the field.
Yeah, I don't like the way this looks for Allan at all, but it is possible. If he's able to get something like an Ice Cold Crash flinch on the ground on this turn, followed by another Ice Cold Crash next turn, Tapu Fini is actually going to struggle to knock out the Weavile because it only has Nature's Madness. It'll take way longer than you'd expect it to.
Right, and I do believe that there are still, I believe there's at least one more. Oh, wait, no, excuse me. As the Ice Cold Crash is going to go into Groudon, going to be looking for a flinch because it cannot protect. Oh, but a big Fire Punch is going to go into Weavile. 100% actually not going to risk the miss of a Rock Slide or Precipice Blades, and that is going to seal the game in favor of Santino.
Yeah, really cleanly played by him.
Is this an upset? I think this is an upset a little bit. Not according to seeding, but according to, I guess.
Yeah, possibly.
Wow.
Santino, like, not only is this his first cut, but he has earned his first brick now.
I like we call it a brick. That's
yeah.
super cool.
I should explain that brick is just what we call the trophies, pretty much. rectangular pieces of like plastic. That's a brick.
That's a brick.
That's a brick if ever there was one.
You know, hang it up next to your soccer trophy from when you were a kid.
They stack on top of each other nicely. You can build a house out of them once you start getting enough.
Wait, how many do you have, man?
Not as many as some people.
Okay. I was gonna be like, yo, can I borrow one? Can I like impress my girlfriend with it or something? Hey, what up? But
so, that game, it's just so hard for Allan's team to respond to a hard Trick Room mode like Santino's. He really didn't have that many options there. Like, none of his Pokemon are slower than 100 speed stat, I think. Like, there's not even an Incineroar.
yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Instead of the Incineroar, the Landorus was there instead. And Landorus, in previous formats, known for honestly carrying Choice Scarf, it wants to be fast in a lot of situations.
Yeah, and like Landorus being able to use the ground EMZ to get knockouts on that Incineroar, yeah, it looks pretty cool. But then the Incineroar just switches into something else freely, and it's not that great for you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a hard matchup. But, yo, congratulations to Allan, making top 8. Going to get some of that CP closer to Worlds.
Yeah, and some money as well. $250, nothing to scoff at. 18 packs of cards.
Make that money. Let's go. So we are going to be right back in a flash. Don't move anywhere with an interview with the man himself, Mr. Santino. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. See, I didn't tell you we'd be that long. We got Santino, the man of the hour right now.
Apparently, the man of the hour.
I mean, you're killing it. Like, I just started following you on Twitter. You went into the day saying how nervous you were.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't as nervous as I was yesterday because, I got the first stream out of the way, got those, kind of shook those off. So, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to cut really. So anything beyond this is just a bonus. So, yeah, I'm over the moon right now.
Now you get.
I did not expect to get this far.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to talk about that matchup because Allan bought a really interesting team. Did you face anything like that in yesterday's event?
I played Ho-Oh Ogre before with Landorus. Weavile was something that I've not had any experience facing. It's very good against me. It has Taunt for my Trick Room, I'm sorry. Attack Combination beats both of my restricted. Beats Ice for Groudon and then Dark for Lunala. So it's definitely a Pokemon that I didn't want to face, and I was trying to figure out a game plan to get by it. And it seemed like the best thing to do was to just throw out Incineroar, just sack it, just let it die, and it worked. I mean,
yeah, I mean that is something
yeah,
that
I don't know.
Noted. You were playing so aggressively.
Yeah, yeah, not really protecting. Yeah, not protecting my mons too much. Of course, yesterday, my Groudon also making very aggressive plays, and I don't know, I don't think I'm a super aggressive player, honestly. But this tournament, or maybe this team, I don't know. I've just been playing very aggressively, and it's been paying off. So
I mean, you played incredibly. Like, one thing that I want to talk, since we're talking about aggressive
Yeah.
and defensive play style, you chose a more trick room heavy team, and with that
Yes.
comes a stigma of playing defensive. Like, where do you see yourself in, like, compared to other trick room teams players, like, as far as your play style?
My play style. So I do play defensive when it comes to my setters, of course, because you know the those important part of the team. But when it comes to like the ground, which is choice band, you know, it's everything like a truck. And if if the team doesn't have like intimidate on it, or if they have no flying types, it's just very easy to just steamroll through an entire team
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. What was I say? I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm like blanking on what to say. So
You're
I don't
good,
have,
man.
like-
You're good, man. There's cameras, there's
Yeah.
lights, you know.
Nah,
But
it's-
once again, man, yo, congratulations. You
Oh,
got
thank
any
you.
shout-outs, my guy? Shout-outs you wanna give?
Kind of similar people that I shouted out yesterday. Matt, Austin, and Aiden, who I came in travel with. Again, the whole Wolf Discord. Jake Powell, who's been amazing here in helping me test and prepare for this. Also, my brother Giovanni. I forgot to shout you out yesterday, so there's that. I know you're watching. Well, I hope you're watching. Hope you're watching.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he's watching.
sure
and
he's
if he's
watching.
not
Yeah.
watching right now,
Yeah.
he's going to see you in
Yeah.
top 4.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
no pressure.
No,
No pressure.
just
Yeah.
one more time, your Twitter handle, though, so that people can follow you, man.
Super underscore Santi, SUPAH underscore SANTI.
Awesome. Well, Santino,
All right.
good luck to you,
Thank
man.
you.
You
Thank you
got
for having me.
this. Of course,
course.
man. And we will be right back with your top 4, right? Yeah, we're going straight into top 4,
Oh,
not
boy.
holding anything back. So get ready, my dude,
Oh,
and we'll
great.
catch y'all later.
Oh, great.